Hey everybody. I started my car and fortunately I popped the hood and I was looking underneath here and I had noticed that my intercooler reservoir, while the car was running, it was completely still, just as if the car was turned off. And my first suspicion was, well, probably my intercooler pump went bad. And I started reading along on both SVT and modular forums, and there was some pretty good information on there. And I really appreciate those websites because they helped me. Anyways, I'll tell you what I did to get the pump working. First thing you got to do, at least in an '03 Cobra, right over here next to the intake, there's this little black box. Here, I'll show you what it looks like before you take it off. It's looks just like this. You just pop this guy off. Then there's this guy right here. It's right there. You just pop that off, and I just knocked it off. And you just take a wire, any old wire. I actually cut this off of an old wiring harness that I had sitting around that I had no use for. And you put the wire on these two sides. This outer side. Let's see if I can get a better connection while I'm doing this one-handed. Okay, the outer and inner sides. And once you put the wire in these two spots, I don't know how well you could see it because of the light. Let me try to shine it differently. Maybe you could see it better like that. Once you have that wire in there, it will automatically start your intercooler pump. So if you put this wire in like this and you hear nothing, it could only be one of two things at this point. It could either be a fuse or your actual intercooler pump is gone. The fuse that you check, here I'll show you that too. Go over here to the fuse box, this one right here. It's number 19. It's this one. It'll say 10 on it. It's the only one. That's a 10 amp. So you could check that fuse right there. So if that's good, then it's not a fuse. So when I jump started, I heard the motor working. I don't know if you could hear it on the camera or not. But yeah, I heard it, and I had nothing in the intercooler. It was still completely still. So I'm trying to figure out, well, what's going on here? So anyways, there's a couple different ideas here to get it to start working. What it is there's an air bubble caught in the system at the pump, and it's not able to pump through the air, so that's why it's not pumping the coolant. So some people take the bottom hose right there, they unclamp that and they blow in that hose actually, and the pressure should push the air bubble through. I said to myself, well, why would I bother doing that if I could just put my lips right on the reservoir and just blow there, because it's still a sealed system. And it worked. I did not have to take that hose off. All I did was literally put my lips against this reservoir, and I just pushed as hard as I could with my mouth, just breathing air into it. And I had to do it probably about a good 10 times. I kept on puffing and puffing, and I was starting to get a little discouraged, but I just kept on going at it, and finally it started making a different kind of a noise. And a few seconds later, I saw this. So as you can see, it is now working. So that's really just a nice, quick way to check your intercooler pump to see what's going on. Apparently, this is a pretty common issue, at least with these Cobras. So before you run out and buy a new intercooler pump, just do those couple things. Take this guy off and put the wire in there and see if you hear any noise. No noise, check a fuse. If you still don't have any noise, then yes, it is your pump. But if you hear it working and you're not getting any bubbling or swirling, then yeah, technically all you really have to do is just pucker up, put your lips on that, seal it real good, and blow. Just make sure you don't inhale any of this coolant, or you'll be making a trip to the hospital. So just be very careful you don't get any of that shit in your mouth. because it's very toxic. But you know, I was careful about that. I didn't, and I got the intercooler pump to work, and it literally cost me absolutely nothing. I just, you know, it just took some time to read about this in the forums. So I just thought I would explain everything that I learned online in a quick little video, because for me at least, a video really helps me to understand how something works rather than just reading it. It's always easier to see how something's done rather than just to read about it. But fortunately, they were pretty descriptive in the forums, and I was able to figure it out. But it's not that hard. Anyways, yeah, I highly recommend you check underneath the hood of your car at least every once in a while. I would say at least once a week, just to make sure that you're getting this kind of swirling and stuff inside of your intercooler reservoir. Because if you're not, then something's going on, and your pump is not pumping coolant through the system like it should, and that could cause major problems. So definitely good piece of advice, I think, is to just keep your eye on this, because again, I mean, this seems to be a very common problem. So anyways, yeah, have a good one.